Hello, my name is Kendra, and I am making my first video for this YouTube channel. Um, don't really know if it's going to be a full channel. I just wanted to make some videos on my journey reenlisting into the United States Army. Um, Basically, in this video, I'm just going to kind of talk about when I first enlisted, when I got out, and kind of where I'm at in the process of going back in. So, with that said, I first enlisted active duty in 2008. January is when I swore in and shipped out. I went to Fort Jackson, which is in Columbia, South Carolina. When I signed my contract, I signed it for 25 Bravo, which is the information technology specialist. I went through basic training, didn't really have any issues until the very end, a week before I graduated, I believe it was. I ended up getting discharged. It was a medical honorable discharge, JFW, reentry code 3. So I left, went back home, kind of just lived my life. I tried one time, I believe, to kind of go back in. I think that was in 2000 and might have been 14-ish. It wasn't much going on around that time, so I needed a waiver for me getting out, which would have been a medical waiver. And they weren't really, I had tattoos that weren't in regulation at the time. It was just, they weren't really interested in trying to go through that process. So I just kind of said, forget it, and kept on doing what I was doing at the time. Fast forward 2024, we've all heard about the, recruitment crisis that the military has been having. They've kind of made some changes, and I just felt like now was the time for me to try to go back. So I decided that with me needing a medical waiver, and I was now going to also need a moral waiver, if I was ever going to be able to get back in, like, now's the time to do it, because if they don't take me now, they ain't never going to take me, pretty much. So as I said, I knew I was going to need 2 waivers. So the medical waiver is in regards to mental health. It's part of the reason why I was discharged from the military the first time. Basically, long story short, I had some mental health stuff go on, basically diagnosed with like a mood disorder. Didn't disclose it when I first, enlisted. Somehow or another, it came out, and they let me get out for it. So, or kind of voluntold me, whatever. So, anywho, knew I was going to need the waiver for that. And then I ended up also getting into some trouble some years back. And so I also have 2 felonies and 2 misdemeanors. So, non-drug related also, just to kind of put that out there. So, yeah, so met with my first recruiter on the 9th of May, 2024. I don't really know what to say. Like, he wasn't a bad guy. He wasn't like, rude or anything. We just didn't click. Like, I just didn't feel like he was really interested or invested into like getting me back in. The first recruiter I had when I very first joined was like so like on top of everything, and like he constantly checked on me and just he was really a really good recruiter. So maybe I just was a little biased about it. I don't know. But I decided, like, after a couple weeks, I was just like, you know what? I think it's better if I find another recruiter. So I did, went to a different station and met with that recruiter. That was May 20th. And I clicked with him. We were good. I had all my stuff with me. I still had my jacket from the first time that I enlisted, and my discharge papers and everything. So that also kind of made stuff easy. And oddly enough, like, a lot of my stuff was still in their system. Like, I wasn't expecting that. My recruiter wasn't expecting that, because we're talking about, what, 16 years ago. But yeah, a lot of my stuff was still in the system. So, including my ASVAB, which was also a plus, because, I scored pretty decent on my ASVAB. But yeah, so did the whole medical questionnaire thing with the very first recruiter, and the new recruiter had just kind of reorganized stuff to bring it over to their office and whatever, so I didn't have to do that over again. But I guess some stuff had to be adjusted because I guess certain things weren't done right or whatever. But either way, I don't know, like a week and a half maybe later, like it was like June 7th, MEPS responded and said that I could come up there for my physical. So I was really excited about that, because honestly, I wasn't even sure if I was going to get that far. And so they was like, yeah, I could come up there, do my physical. I was like, all right, cool. I ended up going on June 13th, which was a Thursday, stayed overnight in the hotel, and went Friday morning. I will say that the process was the same, but different. Like, it was not quite how it was when I did it 16 years ago. But anyway, did everything, the hearing, eyes, P-test, duck walk, physical, all that good stuff. I will say this new Genesis program is like a pain, because I literally spent, like, it had to be over an hour in the office just talking to the doctor before I even did the actual physical, because of all the stuff that pulled up from Genesis. And had to kind of like go over any like concerns and discrepancies that they saw or whatever. So that was an interesting process. But yeah, did everything, and I didn't get notification if I was getting my waiver approved that day. So went home, and I think it was the 20th of June, they responded saying that they wanted my pharmacy records and I needed to get my blood drawn again. So basically the blood count, because my iron was low. So I have to basically get my iron back into a normal range, get it redrawn, and do it again. And then the pharmacy records, I think, is more so for the mental health part. They want to be sure that I'm not taking any more like mental health medications and stuff or whatever. So which I don't. So that's not an issue. So I was able to go ahead and get the pharmacy records. Right now, I'm just waiting on the blood count situation, and then I'm gonna turn that stuff in. And go from there. I can't move on to the moral waiver that I need until I complete the process for the medical waiver. So that's pretty much where I'm at right now. I didn't want to make this video like super long, but I just wanted to kind of give some background on what it is that I was going through my experience, what I've done and where I'm at right now. And I will keep y'all updated on how things continue to go. I'm hoping that I can get this done within like the next couple weeks and move on to the moral waiver process. More so too because like I said previously, I have a teenage daughter, which means I have to get my family plan situated as well. And I just don't want stuff to get kind of like jumbled up. So I want to be able to get all that situated before, like, it's time for school to start and all that good stuff. So, yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. Like, subscribe so you can see when I post the next video. Feel free to comment any questions or anything that you may have. I'll be happy to answer to the best of my ability. If it's something that I mentioned that you want me to kind of like explain a little bit more or go into more detail, just let me know. Feel free to reach out. Be happy to do so. And until next time.